Once upon a time, there were three tiny friends named Aryan, Anya, and Kayla, living in a cozy miniature house nestled in a quiet corner of the world. One sunny day, they spotted a towering structure in the distance and decided to explore it. As they tiptoed inside, they discovered that the tower was inhabited by robots. Unsure of whether the robots were friendly or hostile, the tiny friends quickly hid in a box, hoping to stay out of sight. While hiding, they noticed some peculiar holes in the ground. Curiosity got the better of them, and they ventured into one of the holes. To their amazement, they discovered that they had the ability to transform into vehicles. Eager to explore further, they journeyed to the second floor of the tower. However, reaching the third floor required a daring climb, as they had to carefully navigate past spiky balls that moved back and forth. Upon reaching the third floor, the tiny friends faced a daunting challenge. A fiery path stretched across the room, and on the other side the robots were preparing for an attack. Suddenly, the tiny friends realized they could turn their hands into powerful weapons. With newfound courage and weaponry, they prepared for battle against the robotic foes. After a fierce and prolonged battle, the tiny friends managed to disable the tower's lights, plunging the area into darkness. With the robots unable to see them, they seized the opportunity to escape through a window. As they fled, a new threat emerged: the Inslayer, a dark force determined to destroy the world and all tiny beings within it. Chapter 4: Darkness. The tiny friends raced back to their secret headquarters, where they needed to find a special star, the tiny star, to defeat the Inslayer. Their quest required crossing through various biomes: a tiny jungle, a tiny desert, a tiny ice biome, and a tiny lava biome. They collected all the biome stars, but were missing one crucial star, the tiny Natra star. To activate the portal for the tiny Natra star, they needed a fire star. Tiny Aryan revealed that he had kept a tiny fire star in his pocket all along. Using it, they activated the portal, retrieved the tiny Natra star, and gained the power they needed to save the world. Chapter 5: Go to the Human World. Returning home, the tiny friends found their city in ruins and discovered a portal leading to the human world. Stepping through, they entered a vast and unfamiliar realm. Tiny Anya marveled. "This is the human world," Tiny Aryan added. "It's so big." They quickly had to hide as a human approached. They overheard the humans talking in a language they didn't understand. After the humans left, a new character appeared. His name was Kaisin, and he wore a striking yellow and white costume. Kaisin greeted them warmly and offered to help. Chapter 6: Rise of the Tiny Ship. Kaizen led them to an abandoned tiny ship. Although the ship appeared deserted, it simply needed power. The tiny friends inserted the tiny star into the ship, and it transformed into a fully operational vessel. The tiny friends were thrilled to have a new mode of transportation. Chapter 7: The Amazing Journey. The ship came to life and requested a commander for the mission ahead. Kaisin, Kyla, and Anna all voted for Tiny Aryan to be the commander. With their roles assigned, they settled into the ship's beds and prepared for their incredible journey. Chapter 8: The War. Just as they were getting comfortable, the Inslayer returned, stronger and more menacing than ever. The battle was intense, but the tiny friends were ready. They activated all their weapons and fought valiantly to defend their new ship and their world. Chapter 9: The Final Tiny. With the Inslayer weakened from the battle, Tiny Aryan saw his chance. He charged forward for a final decisive attack. With a mighty slash, he vanquished the Inslayer forever, ensuring peace and safety for all. Chapter 10: The Excitement and Power of the Tiny Group. In celebration of their victory, the tiny friends traveled to the arena. They transformed into their armored forms for a grand display of their powers. Tiny Anya performed an axis spin, Tiny Aryan executed a flying attack, Tiny Kayla used a spinning shield, and Kaisin delivered a powerful down slash. Together, they showcased their incredible abilities and enjoyed the thrill of their triumph. And so, the tiny friends continued their adventures, always ready to face new challenges and protect the world they loved.